This week's episode is brought to you in part by MPix, delivering the highest quality prints and products from your photos. Shoot today, upload tonight, we ship tomorrow.
On this show, I'm going to show you how to take care of those pesky portraits and how to swap heads out to make it look more pleasing.
And I've got a quick tip on how to be able to use droplets to be able to make your life easier in automation, both in Photoshop and in Lightroom.
And I've got a few tricks for using adjustment layers.
And I've got a tutorial where you have one guy that's holding this thing, and you take a, you'll see. And it all starts right now.
Welcome to Photoshop User TV, brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. And now, here are your hosts, the Photoshop guys.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another Arios. Is that right?
Arios. Yes.
Arios episode of Photoshop User TV, brought to you by Photoshop User Magazine. That's Pete holding it right there. Well, there you go. Welcome, everybody. It is our final episode of the season.
Wow.
It's staggering. It's heartbreaking.
I survived. Yes.
It's not over yet. Hey, I'd like to introduce you to, I'm Scott Kelby. I want to introduce you to the gang here on the set today. To my left, a mi izquierda.
Buenos días.
Buenos días, Arci Concepción, mi amigo.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Ay, cansado, pero...
¿Cansado?
Ay,
Sí.
Un poquito. ¿Y tú? Un poquito
Bien,
también.
bien, gracias.
No. Qué bueno.
Vamos. On, bro.
Good. I was going to say, ¿vamos a continuar en inglés?
Sure, let's. Okay, let's talk English. Hey, we have Corey Barker way over there.
I don't speak Spanish.
You don't speak Spanish?
No.
Oh, man, you're so
I live it to
Spanish.
him. But
I look at you know what I see? España.
Yes.
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 Look at that, burning that smoldering Latin look of yours.
Look at that. It's
All
like
right.
it's like Antonio Banderas with a crew cut.
It is. It's like Antonio Banderas. Yes, with a crew.
I like
Okay.
that. Huh? Yes.
And Pistol Packin' Pete, the Juice Collins is here to my right.
Swatney Cop.
I don't speak Thai.
I talk-
Okay.
Hey, but you knew that was Thai.
We have a
Yes.
multicultural group here today. Except for
International.
Pete, of course. So, welcome, everyone. We have got such a show. It's our last show of the season. We are going to take a 4-week break. We normally do a bunch of episodes, and then we take a break, and that time is here. And I'll bet you watching at home are thinking, yeah, it is about time for them to take a few weeks off, isn't it? I know how you feel. Hey, we're going to start off things, though, with RC. Mi amigo RC.
Ah,
El
gracias.
caballero de lechero.
Gracias. All right, so this is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about droplets, right? I got a couple questions recently from Photoshop World. A couple people were talking about Digimark. I was using this kind of thing for copyright. People are like, well, it's really cool, but how do I do it in Lightroom when I want to be able to do it? So I said, all right, droplets. And everybody kept looking at me with kind of like this blank expression on their face, and it's actually pretty easy to be able to do. If you come over here, you go to Window and you go to Actions, you have a series of actions that you can set up. Well, all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create a new one, and I'm going to call it Test Droplet. All right, and I'm going to record. So all I'm doing right now is just recording this action. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stop this. Let's trash it because this can probably get you guys confused. I'll just go ahead and I'm going to create a new one. I'll record it, and I'm going to call this one Watermark Applier. This will make more sense. Now, I'm going to go File Open. I'm going to open up a file. Doesn't matter what happens with the file. I'm not really all that concerned about what the file looks like. This is for something else. I'm going to create an action, and in this case, I'm just going to go to Filter, Digimark, and I'm going to embed my watermark. I've already signed into the Digimark service, and all I'm doing is applying this transparent watermark to it. So everything is all set up. It takes a couple seconds to be able to do it. And once that's done, it takes it, it puts it onto the image. Once it's embedded, you're not going to be able to see it, which is one of the things that I think that's really, really cool about it. But what we're doing here is, oh, look, the watermark's done. Right, remind me later. Now, you can't see that the watermark is there, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a File, Save As, and I'm going to save this somewhere else. Doesn't matter where I'm saving it. I'm just saving it into a different directory because I don't want to overwrite the one that I've already done. So I'll just put it right on the desktop for now, and then I'm going to do a File Close. So the action's pretty straightforward over here. All I did was open a file, embed a watermark, save it into a different location, and close it. Well, inside of Photoshop, we can go to File, Automate, and under the batch options, you have this thing called Create Droplet. And what Create Droplet does is it lets you take an action and turn it into an individual file. So I'm going to save the droplet. Let's go ahead and save it right on the desktop, and I'll call it watermark droplet. Notice that it gives it an exe file. What action do I want to do? And I want to do watermark applier. I want to override any kind of open actions so that there's no dialog boxes that show up. I want to suppress file open options, and I want to suppress color profile warnings. So if you're doing like a PDF, and when a PDF opens up, it asks what kind of resolution or what page number, that'll get suppressed. If you want to be able to do camera raw, that gets suppressed as well. That's why I'm checking these. Under the destination, I'm just going to go ahead and do a save and close because I want this droplet to be saved and closed in whatever directory I have. Once I've done that, I check override save as, and I click on OK. Now, here's my droplet, right in this one area. The cool part about this is that now I can take any file that I want from here. Let's say that I want to take these 3 files and I want to apply a watermark to it. All I have to do is grab them, drag them on top of the droplet, and automatically these files will get that watermark applied to them. So that part I think is really, really cool. But what's even better about this is that if you go into something like Lightroom, inside of Lightroom, you'll notice that you have options to be able to export. So let's say that I want to take this file right here, and I want to be able to export it. I'll go ahead and I'll take this file, and let's go ahead and just right-click on it. We'll export the file here. You have a whole bunch of different settings or a whole bunch of different things that you're doing to them, but all the way at the very, very bottom of this, you have a post-processing section.
Hey, RC, may I interrupt for a second?
Mm-hmm.
This is a 20-minute show, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, we're almost done here. So inside of here, you'll see that there's a section called Go to Export Actions folder now. If you click on that, that's the folder that you're working with. All you need to do is...
No pressure.
All you need to do is drag your droplet from here inside of here. Now, every time that you export it out, you can run that action, it applies the watermark, and you're pretty much good to go.
Are you going to show us how to run it?
Yeah?
It's not done till it's done.
Here. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this. We'll right-click. I'll take this, export it out. I'm going to put this right on the desktop. I'll run my watermark droplet. And we're done. That's it.
That's good. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Scott Kelby.
I'm Pete Collins.
Okay, we're going to go a little longer there. Thank you, RC.
You're welcome.
Very detailed, multi-step. Quick. Take a weekend and do it. Oh, it's good to be back on the show.
Wow.
All right.
Well, you know what? That kind of dovetails nicely into mine.
It really does.
Yeah.
And that's a good segue, how that dovetails nicely into yours. Pete?
Well, if you've ever taken a photo of somebody and there's just something not quite right about how they're looking, and you decide you might want to change the head, swap it out with something else.
They have an eye closed or something.
Yeah, you never know what's going on. Lots of things can happen. You need to make sure that when you're choosing the head to swap out, you choose the correct head, orientation, everything to go with it. Otherwise, it's not going to look quite right. Let me show you what I mean. If we go to this image, and this was taken, I took this picture of RC at a football game, and it's just not, his head looks weird. It just doesn't look right. And no, I did not take it with a 50 millimeter, but something's just not right. So what you have to do is you have to figure out what's the best source image to use. So I first went with this image.
See, now that looks a lot better.
It does, but see, the angle's off just slightly, and the lighting, I could have worked a little bit better. So I think I then decided maybe this would look a little bit better. I had to work on the dodging and burning, and it doesn't look quite right. So I went to the next one. And this one really started to capture the essence of RC. I really thought this kind of exemplified RC.
See, that's not the one that looks the most like RC.
Yeah, but then you start looking, it's all about the reference. And this giraffe head just worked very nicely. But then I thought about the personality of RC, and I finally settled on this one because it really kind of said it all. And that is the buzzard. And so when you're going to swap out heads, make sure that you choose the right reference image that's going to fit with the body that you're trying to put it on. And that's my tip for today.
Nice.
I'm speechless.
That's frightening.
That's scary.
That's something. Hey, the only thing we can do at this point, there's only one thing to do, is party. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have a tip from Corey, which will also feature a picture of RC, as will mine, coming up in just a few minutes. Stick around, don't go away. We'll be right back here on Photoshop User TV, the head-swapping capital of the world. We are back. Hey, I was just noting on the break that Pete's tutorial was not really a tutorial.
It taught people a lot, and most importantly, it was funny.
It was funny. It was surprising and good, but I'm sorry. I learned a lot. Hey, we're going to switch over to Corey Barker. How's it going back there, laddie?
I learned something.
Dude, you had all this time to punch some text into a Spanish translator.
Yes, I did.
And you didn't use it.
No, sadly. I can't read it either.
You know why? Because this is no kidding. I kid you not. We're sitting here talking, all of a sudden I hear Angry Birds coming from his machine. That's why we're not getting Spanish.
I am almost through this. No, I'm kidding.
All right. So what do you have for us today, Mr.
I have a little
Barker?
tip. Actually, I was at Adobe Max last week, and somebody asked this question during one of the classes. I thought it was kind of interesting with regard to adjustment layers in Photoshop. And they're talking about this scenario here. I've got two images. It's just the same color bottle in two different layers. And what they wanted to know is how can I isolate adjustment layers to specific layers? Because as you know, if I were to change the color of this, let's say with a simple hue saturation adjustment layer, and I'll do colorize, any layers beneath that adjustment layer are going to be affected by this hue saturation because it's at the top of the layer order and it looks down on all those layers. Well, one thing you can do is certainly when you add an adjustment layer, it automatically adds a layer mask to that adjustment layer. So you can certainly make a selection of the desired object and then select the layer mask here and do a inversion of the selection. I'll just do inverse. And then fill that area with black. And this isolates that adjustment to that specific area in the layer mask. Now, that's certainly one way to do it. And another way to do it is really kind of an easier way, and the way I like to do it is because an adjustment layer is a layer, you can apply certain properties that you would do to other layers in the sense of a clipping group. So I'm going to go over here, and if you hold down the Option key on Mac, Alt on Windows, and simply put your cursor between the layers, you get this overlapping circles. Just click once. It'll isolate that adjustment to that specific layer. So anything on this layer that you introduce or do anything like that will pick up that adjustment. You won't have to readjust the layer mask because it's only isolating it through the clipping group. And if I made a duplicate of that layer and move that down here, and now I can isolate this to this specific image, and then just go in here and change that color. So several different ways of isolating an adjustment layer to a specific layer. A clipping group is one of the most effective because it's going to encompass the entire layer without having to go in and readjust that layer mask. So that's just a quick little tip to help managing your adjustment layers.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
That was a quick tip.
Thank you. That's what defines quick.
Oh, is that what a quick tip is?
Yes.
Will you let RC know?
I'll give him a quick tip tutorial later.
We're totally just busting ours. We're just totally busting ours.
This is the beat up on RC day.
It's beat up on RC day. We love RC. We're just totally messing with him. But it's just what we like about it though is, and this is why we pick on RC, because he takes it so hard. Like if you pick on Pete, I kid you not, he could care freaking less. Corey's the same way. Corey's like, yeah, whatever. So we've lost all our enthusiasm to pick on either one of them. However, RC is a giant vat of guilt and concern. And when you pick on RC, he'll come up to me after the show and go, dude, I'm sorry about that tutorial. I didn't like that, dude. just kidding.
I'm like, sorry about what?
Sorry about that tutorial running so long. I'm like, dude, I'm just kidding. So, but that's, and Pete would never say, Pete would come by your office and go, in your face on that tutorial. But, you know, it would be much, much different. Okay, I have a tutorial for you. Now, I have to set this up, which is why it was so hard to describe in the opening thing. So, this tutorial is for when you're photographing someone and they're holding something like out from their body. So like I've shot football players, you know, like a portrait, and they hold the ball out like this, you know, or something like that. Or a basketball player holds the ball out, or anybody, boxer with his arms out like this, you know, or throwing a punch, something like that. Anything that's like out in front of the body, I don't care if you shoot at f/22, you're not going to get the hand and the person both in focus at the same time. Their hand's going to be in focus, or their face is going to be in focus. Your camera's not going to be able to get them both in focus, unless you shoot them from a long distance. I mean, you shoot them from 20 feet away. But if it's a close-up shot, so I'm going to show you a way to do that. It starts during the shoot. So in this case, I have a guy who's actually holding a small globe in his hand. Like,
he's got the whole world in his hand.
He's got the whole world in his hand. And he's holding it out from his body. So the first thing you have to do is to make this work in Photoshop, you have to shoot it right. And all you do is you're going to focus first on the outstretched hand. So take a look. See, if you look at, we have the globe is in focus. You can read China, India, and all these other places. Russia. Okay, Thailand somewhere over here. Okay, but if you look at him, he's way out of focus. So what you're going to do is take your camera, put your little, you know, your little red dot in the middle, and just put it up on the globe. Hold your shutter button halfway down. That locks the focus on the globe, right? And then just recompose and then fire. So that takes one shot with just a globe. Now you need to take a second shot. Take that center point and put it right on your subject. So the globe will be out of focus, and then fire that shot. But you kind of want to shoot close to the same shot twice. You do not have to be on a tripod. I'm going to show you how we'll fix that in Photoshop. So this is the first shot. You can see where the globe is in focus. He is way, way blurry guy. Then you take another shot. All right, and here, the globe, as we will zoom in on the globe here. Let me get the magnifying glass tool. Whoa. Okay, sorry. Is way out of focus. You cannot read the countries and stuff because it's so out of focus. However, if you were to zoom in on him, he is nice and sharp. Look how sharp he is. No, it's way over here. There
the hair follicle was sharp.
Right, so this is an unretouched photo. But anyway, he's nice and sharp. Okay. Now, we're going to take the two and put them into a photo that your camera cannot create because of the depth of field. Okay. So we will take this picture and drag it on top of this picture. So we have basically two photos, one on top of the other. So you can see that they're not exactly aligned. He's kind of like a foot away from himself, right? All right. So what we're going to do is this. Select both photos, 1, 2. And we're going to go to Edit, Auto Align Layers. This will look at the two photos and align them. And look, now, take a look. See? Now look, he's dancing. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, but now they're very close. And you have basically two versions of him. All right, this one is the fuzzy, on top is the fuzzy one. So here's one. Fuzzy Wuzzy. You're going to add a layer mask. Just click the layer mask icon. If the layer mask is in white, you're going to paint in the opposite color, black. Get the brush tool, come in here and paint, and as you paint, it reveals the sharp version from the other photo. And that's it. Now what you have is a photo that your camera could not capture, which is one where his face is perfectly in focus and the globe is perfectly in focus. All you have to do to finish this off is one of two things. You can either crop the photo here, let's merge it together, we'll flatten it. You can either crop the photo down to fit, make just crop, or you could take the tragic wand tool, select these areas that are sticking out on the sides. There's one down at the bottom there. And in this case, it's a black background, you just fill it with black, but you could have used content aware fill. We'll just fill it with black, and you're done. And he's in focus, and the globe is in focus. Again, something your camera could not do. We can zoom in to see his face.
Inconceivable.
Face in focus. Globe also in focus. China, India, Mongolia, and various places around the globe.
Well done.
Hey, it's time for a break.
Really?
Heresy.
Hi.
How you doing? Time for a break. When we come back, we got a contest and some prizes and lots of fun stuff. So stick around. We'll be right back right here on Photoshop User TV. We are back. Scott Kelby here with Pete Collins, Corey Barker, and R.C. Concepcion. And
right.
Is there a weather system moving in over there?
There is a weather system. I'm looking at Salt Lake City International Airport. We have a green weather pattern that's coming in off of the Farmington Bay Waterfowl Management Area.
Yeah, you can always tell when there's like a 12-year-old boy near a part of the map. That's what happens. Okay, hey, story. The green cloud. Okay. Hey, we have a contest. I have no idea how we run the contest, so it must not be very good. But Pete will tell you all about it. Pete, may I call you Pete?
You may call me Pete.
Pete?
You may call me
If
Al.
that is your real name.
In some states it is. We're going to give away 2 sets today. We've got 2 books. We've got the Light It, Shoot It, Retouch It book by some guy named Scott Kelby. And then we've got Photoshop Compositing Secrets by Matt Kay. Excellent book. And then we've got the Eye Stabilizer. It is a flexible leg tripod for your iPhone or other things. And Scott, you use this in a unique way, don't you?
I do. I use this. So I have a great app for the iPhone called Presentation Clock, or P-Clock. And it's from Sean Welsh, so make sure you get the one for Sean Welsh. 99 cents. If you speak ever, it is the greatest timer ever. And I put my iPhone on here so I can see the time. And it counts down like for any amount of time you want. It gives you like a 10 or 15 minute warning. You get to choose whatever warning you want. Changes color and dings. And then with 5 minutes, you can change color and ding again. But it's great for like shooting and stuff, but I use it for, it's in my bag as a relic. I love it.
So
Very well made.
That's going to be one set. And then the second set for the non-winner of this is going to be the book and the book.
Hey, can I tell you the other cool thing about this? It has nothing to do with anything. It has a ball head.
It does.
It has an actual ball head. It works really well. Sorry.
So to do the contest, all you've got to do is send in a comment, say something nice about us, say how hilarious I was and how long RC was, and that's how you win. We'll pick 2 winners.
That's absolutely how you win. That's the only way to win.
Yeah. And we'll let you know if you won the contest. It's not really a contest. It's more just a blatant attempt to get you to interact with us because we're needy. Needy folks.
So needy. Well, I've got great news. Not only has this show come to a close, but the season has come to a close. It's a sad, melancholy moment.
We'll meet again.
But I'd like to let each one of our hosts here just give you their thoughts as this closes, this melancholy moment. RC, how are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. I was actually able to clear this level with 2 stars.
No, you need to go 3 stars. If you can't get 3 stars, you're
Man, I just set you up for a passionate, emotional moment, and you're playing Angry Birds. We'll leave it to Corey. Corey?
Be well.
See? That's how you do it. You see how he paused, the dramatic pause?
Wow, that was nice.
Love
And then
one
be
another.
well, and he looked like he cared.
Help someone. do
Wow.
Something.
Wow.
Oh, come on. This is gold. This RC.
Wow.
Learn from
I
him.
totally thought that you were going to go with be excellent to one another.
I was going, yeah, okay.
Dude,
And remember,
this is a learning moment. There's much more to learn here from Pete than Pete's tutorial. Look. Look. Corey.
But not much.
Corey leading the way. First, he does this tutorial in the prescribed amount of time.
And he actually taught something.
He actually taught something so there's 2 bonuses.
But nobody
And
cared.
then when
Nobody
it comes
listens to
time
Corey.
to deliver an emotional moment, he paused, he had the dramatic,
Gravitas.
Little
Almost
tear.
a little tear out of it.
gravitas, yes.
Very nice.
You don't get to use Latin in everyday conversation nearly as much as we should.
no.
Gravitas, veritas.
But I thank you for being here.
Wow, look at that.
I mean,
Thank
doubled
you
up.
for being. Wow. No, you didn't say being here. He stopped. I think.
My here was very low.
Yeah,
very
he
low.
said here.
Being here.
Oh, okay. No, he didn't say here.
I'd like to buy the world a Coke.
I'd like to buy the world a Coke and teach
it
it
harmony. Learn the words. Hey,
You jumped the line.
I don't
Sorry.
jump a line.
You're right,
I wrote
boss.
that song, by the
You're
way.
right, boss.
I wrote that song in
You're
1961.
You're never wrong.
Jump in the line.
Thank you. Thank you for finally admitting what everyone else knows. We must go now.
Wait, I haven't ended.
You've ended, trust me. I wouldn't be looking for Pete. I wouldn't be looking for Pete next year on Photoshop User
Wait till the
TV.
new season where it's these three guys and a donkey.
I don't know if we can afford that upgrade. Hey! Oh! Come on, you did not! Oh, I so did. Look, even Juan's laughing. Juan has not laughed in 6 seasons in a row. And I kid you not, I looked over and Juan, our jib operator and editor and just general cool guy, was laughing out loud. And he had a facial expression. I kid you not.
I thought he was pointing at Pete and going, take that, it burns.
Take that, feel the burn. Look, he's not laughing anymore, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, back to straight.
He's rolling his eyes. It gets worse. You know, I don't want this show to end.
Shocked.
Do you?
I never do.
That's because you know it's your last one.
Why?
Thanks to all of our suddenly appear. All right, thank you for all of our sponsors for sponsoring us. Thank you guys for sticking with us through the season. And I just moved the table.
You did.
I'm rocking back and
And
forth.
it's going to mess up. Oh,
Yeah, it is.
yes.
Ooh, I just broke it. Thank you guys. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
Our CEO.
Thanks.
Other guy.
Yes.
To be announced. New Photoshop guy to be announced. We'll see you guys next season in 4 weeks right here on Photoshop User TV. Take care, everybody.
Bye.